Finally, a movie about the terrors of the deep American South, as told the only way that truly can be told, by a group of Canadians. Hey everyone, it's me, Aaron.
I'm Michelle.
And this is our post-Shriek Out reaction for Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, because all week long on the post-Shriek Out reaction, the theme is horror comedies, and I am not exaggerating when I say this. This is hands down my personal favorite horror comedy of all time. Now don't get me wrong, there are other horror comedies out there like Shaun of the Dead or Cabin in the Woods that are definitely objectively better films. They're smarter written films, they're better acted films, I'll give it that. Actually, no, you know what, the acting in this is really damn good. And we'll get to that in just a second. But yes, there are other horror comedies out there that I can look at and go, objectively, those are far better films. But just speaking on a personal level, I freaking love Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. This is one of the few films out there that after I watched it, I immediately watched it again. I don't mean like the next day. I mean, when this thing was originally released on DVD and Blu-ray, I rented it through Netflix because that was back when people still got DVDs through Netflix. And it came over to the apartment, I popped it in, watched it. As soon as it was done, started that thing over again. I love the hell out of Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. And did I mention it's currently on Netflix right now, like streaming? You guys can go and watch this if you have not seen it. But what this film is about is that it is the story of a group of college kids who go up to a cabin in the woods for a party one weekend, and they run into these mysterious looking hill people. And then one of their friends ends up getting kidnapped by the hill people, and now they have to go and rescue her, but one by one they slowly start getting picked off and start dying in gruesome ways. Here's the twist. The movie is not about them. The movie is about the mysterious hill people, and this is a movie basically meant to be a slasher film from the point of view of the slashers, and it kind of always reminded me of, there was a book of messed up fairy tales when I was a kid called The Stinky Cheese Man.
Yeah, I remember that.
And there was one story in there that was the story of the three little pigs from the point of view of the wolf. And the wolf was like, I just went over to their house to like borrow a cup of sugar, and they started going nuts and screaming and yelling at me, and then one of them died in a horrible accident. And, well, yeah, I ate them, but I mean, I'm a wolf and it's a dead pig. I mean, are you just gonna leave a hamburger sitting around? That's kind of what this movie is, except it is all just a massive case of, I don't want to say mistaken identity, but misunderstanding. It's just one big, crazy string of misunderstandings, one after another, because this movie, it opens up following the college kids, and then they get passed on the road by Tucker and Dale, these two guys in a big old fishing pickup truck, and they've got like the trucker hats on. They're staring out there at them as they pass by, and creepy music is playing. And then creepy music starts playing when they run to them at the gas station. But then, as soon as they're at the gas station, it cuts to the point of view of Tucker and Dale, because they're like staring over at the college kids. And they're like, oh my God, they're so creepy. What are they doing with us? What do they want with us? And then it cuts over to him and is like, look them over there, Dale. Oh, they never want a girl like that. She'd never want to talk to a guy like me. Come on there, Tucker. You got to have some confidence in yourself. You got to get over there and introduce yourself. You can't just stand over here pining the whole time. You got to go over there. You're a fine young gentleman. Go over there and introduce yourself to those people out there. And he goes over there, and Tucker is the most likable, like, teddy bear of a human being you have ever met, because he's just so down on himself, and he's so shy and so nervous, and he just walks over. And for some reason, he's holding a giant scythe at this moment. I don't know why he's holding a giant scythe. Like, I don't know what they were doing at this truck stop. But he just walks over there with this giant scythe and goes, so, y'all gonna do some fishing? And they just look at him like, oh my God, this monster. And then it just follows Tucker and Dale, and they go up to this cabin that Dale, he's been saving his whole life up to get this cabin. And then they go into the cabin. It is clear that this cabin was owned by a serial killer before this. Like, there's bones hanging up, like human skeletons hanging up from the ceiling. And Dale just looks at it and goes, whoever owned this place before us must have been like an archaeologist or something in here. And they see all these newspaper clippings about horrendous murders that happened. And they look at it and go, oh my God. $5 off any order of chili dogs at the diner. No expiration date. They miss all these clues that they are at a serial killer's house. But that never really even comes back around. It's there just to be another setting for these guys. And what they're doing is they're going up here for the weekend and they're just going to clear the place out. They're going to fix this place up. It is a fixer-upper. They need to repair the place. So they're going to relax. They basically, it's been Dale's dream to have a summer home. He finally has it. He has just a place where he can go and just fish on the weekends, just relax. And it's like this just very wholesome story about these two buddies going up there. But then they're out there and they end up seeing the college kids going for a swim. And one of them slips and falls, and they go over and pick her up out of the water, and all the other college kids are staring over at them, just going, oh my God, what are they doing to Allison? You go, hey, we got your friend! And they're like, oh my God, they've kidnapped our friend! So they take her back to their place, bandage her up, and they just have like a conversation with her, and it's the girl that Tucker had the crush on. And Tucker, again, he's too wholesome. He is so freaking wholesome as a human being. Because when she's waking up, he comes walking in just this big. He's played by Tyler Labine, by the way, who is known for being like a big lumbering guy. He played in Voltron. He played Hunk. That was his name? Yeah, so he's known for being like the like really big-hearted, large guy. He comes walking in with this tray of food, and she starts freaking out and goes, oh, it's the pancakes. Oh, you don't like pancakes? I'll go make you something else. That just sums up this guy's character so well. But she comes to understand, okay, all right, I'm sorry. I prejudged you. I'm sorry. That was wrong with me. And they have like a conversation. They start playing some board games, getting along. And then her friends find her, and they all are spying on her. And they assume that, oh my God, they've got to get them. We have to go and rescue them. And the rest of this film is just a series of the college kids trying to go in there and rescue this person who's not being held kidnapped and just getting themselves killed. And Tucker and Dale keep finding their dead bodies all over the place. And they have this great moment in there where they stop and turn to each other and go, oh my God, you know what this is? This is a suicide cult. These damn stupid college kids, they come up here to kill themselves on our property. Oh my God, we gotta save these kids, Tucker. And it's one of those things that you look at and go, yeah, what else could these guys These college kids just keep dying right in front of them. I don't know what I would think. And the thing is, yeah, Tucker and Dale, they're playing up to be kind of stupid, but they're smart when they need to be, because there's moments where they go, well, we should just call the cops, and they'll come here and stop them from doing this. And Dale just goes, yeah, right. We call and have the cops come up here and find a bunch of dead college kids on my property. What do you think they're gonna think? Yeah, okay, good. They're smart enough to realize what this looks like, which is great because that's what the entire film is meant to look like. By the way, I watched this recently, like right before we recorded this. You haven't seen it in a few years, but you have seen it.
I have seen it, but it has been a while.
Yeah, what did you think of the film?
I really did enjoy it. I love the twist. I love how it's like a different perspective, and it's like, oh, they're not serial killers. You guys are just really clumsy and stupid teenage college kids. Like,
there's a running joke in here about how clumsy not just the college kids are, but especially Allison. Like, there's a gif that they give Allison at the end of this movie that is basically just go, yeah, you're really, like, not stable. Like, you can barely stand up on your own. It's one of those things where, again, it takes your preconceived notions of what to expect in a horror film, but also just to expect from, like, human beings. Because, you've got the preppy college kids, like one of them even dresses like Chad Winsington III with his like polo shirt buttoned up, and they all dress very nice, and they're college kids, so you're like, oh yeah, they're meant to be the smart ones. And then you've got like the good old boys over here, so yeah, they're meant to be the dumb ones. But no, this film is kind of all about going, no, the college kids are really fucking stupid, and the good old boys over here, yeah, I mean, they're not all that bright, but they're in a film where no one's that bright. So it's not like they're really pointing at them and saying, let's all make fun of them. You're making fun of the college kids throughout the majority of this thing.
Also, like, I don't know if this was intentional, but I was like, maybe like bringing up like classism.
I think that there's that message in here as well. This is a film where there are indeed messages in this thing. they're never like in your face.
No.
But, I mean, the moment that you stop and think about it, yeah, absolutely. There's trying to make a statement about how you, the audience, would naturally assume, like the college kids are assuming, that yes, the hill people, as you want to call them over here, yeah, they are definitely up to something. Oh man, there's something wrong. There's like, no man, they're just, they're just guys from the South. That's all that is. Although I say that these are guys from the South. This movie stars and was filmed in Canada. Like everybody in here, I think, is Canadian.
Although to be fair, like I feel like every country has like their own share of like hill folk.
Everybody, yeah, I know that Canada does as well, but this is definitely meant to be more of like them specifically pointing to like a part of America. But this was made in Canada, and Tyler Labine is Canadian. And one thing that I love that I learned from listening to the director commentary of this thing is that Tyler Labine throughout this entire film is wearing a hat that says "Give-er," G-I-V''ER. And in the director commentary, he explains, I had that hat specifically made for this film because I needed to play like, Southern good old boy. And in Canada, give-er is the equivalent of get her done. Mm-hmm. And this film was made back when Larry the Cable Guy was still a thing. And that was still like a catchphrase that people were throwing out there. Hey, motorcycle outside. So he had a specific Canadian version of Get Her Done made for a hat, and I love that so much. But
I wonder if that's on sale or anything.
I'd be shocked if someone had made that thing, but I don't know. It's probably one of those things that someone has made, but they're selling it at like a horror convention at like a weird booth way in the back that you have to go and search for. Because this film, the people who have seen it love this film, but it was a small release.
It's almost like a cult classic.
It is 100% a modern-day cult classic. This is not even an old film. This film was only like 4 or 5 years old at this point. But man, it is one of those things that the people who saw it, they loved it. I heard about this thing from Leonard Maltin. He was raving about this movie. And I heard him, and then after I heard that, I heard a couple other people talking about it, so that's why I had to actually search this thing out. And yeah, man, if I can do that for other people out there and get them to check this film out, man, check this thing out. It is so freaking good. And a lot of it comes down to the characters themselves. Not just even Tucker and Dale, although they are the stars of this thing. But one thing that I love is that there's like 9 different college kids in here. Every single one of them have their own personalities. Like, you could see that they didn't just go, well, we got to kill all these kids off, so it doesn't really matter who or what they are. No, every single one of them, like, they each have their own little bit of distinct personality that at the beginning of this film, you could look at them and go, okay, the film is about these guys. It's about them. You could definitely see this cast of characters starring in a really crappy slasher film. But this film is really smart when it comes to just the comedy in here. The timing and just the little details on everything are great. I mean, I've watched this thing multiple times, and watching it this time, there's so many like small details that I never even noticed. There's a moment in which one of the college kids goes to get help, and it's supposed to be like a fake out moment because the leader of the college kids, who is just this crazed, he has to kill hillbillies. That's his entire goal in life, is to kill hillbillies. So this is like a dream for him to have an excuse to do that. This one guy goes, well, maybe I could just go and take the car and drive it in town and get a cop. He goes, oh yeah, why don't you do that? Why don't you just abandon your friends and just leave? If you want to leave, then just get out of here. Okay, great, thanks. And then he goes right off. He's like, you think that's the joke? Because they keep talking in the foreground? I was looking in the background this time. That dude trips and falls as he's running away and then like scrambles to his feet to keep going. It's such a small detail, but it adds so much to like that little beat of comedy in there. And there's so many other like just tiny like just the way that someone looks at someone, just like one little line in there that totally has a different meaning when you think about how Tucker and Dale are seeing that line, and how the cops are seeing this line. Like there's a moment in there where the cops actually show up. The cops show up, and they show up at a moment in which Tucker and Dale are dragging out the dead body of one of the kids, because this is actually my favorite kill in the entire movie. Dale is throwing wood into a wood chipper, and he bends down right as the college kid goes diving to tackle him. College kid goes head first in this thing. It's the best kill in this entire movie. And I was like, you can't even say that like anything in this movie is a kill. This is a slasher film where you can say, oh, what was the best kill in the movie? None. There's technically no kills in this movie.
It's all accidents.
Yes. Yeah, like there's only 2 deaths in here that I can actually say are kills because someone does accidentally do it to someone else. But there's that moment where after they drag out the body and the cop comes up, they say to him, well, we got one other one inside. Maybe she can explain to you. You got another one inside there? Yeah, she's in my bedroom. And then Dale just starts going, and Dale is played, I mentioned Tyler Labine does a great job as Tucker. Dale is played by Alan Tudyk, who, that is like my number 1. This guy needs so much more respect than he gets, because he is a jack of all trades actor. And he's like, he never gets the attention. Like, he's that guy who should be an A-class actor, but he doesn't feel like he's trying to be an A-class actor. He's just having fun being an actor. And it feels like he takes the roles that he feels will be fun to him, which I respect so much. But I just wish that like more people knew who this guy was, because goddamn, this guy is genius. And the line and the little like shaky hand, like he wants to strangle Tucker for what he just said, because he knows how that sounds, but he has to play it off as cool. It is one of the best deliveries I have ever seen. It's one of the best bits of physical acting I have ever seen in a horror film. It is so good.
That's the thing, is like there's a lot of like physical and like slapstick almost.
Oh, this is, if you are into slapstick, it's so good. This is a great dark comedy slapstick. Cause there's so many moments where like something will happen to someone and it's so graphic, but it's so goofy at the exact same time that you can't help but laugh, and then you turn around and you feel bad for Tucker and Dale because you see their reactions to it, but then you laugh because you know that because their reactions are so over the top that it's funny, but it's also relatable because you would probably have that exact same over the top. It's so good on so many levels, how the comedy in here works. Let's see. I'm not actually going to get into spoilers on this one, because like I said, a lot of people haven't seen this, and it's on Netflix. You can go and watch this right now. And I feel like I've already, most of the stuff I've spoiled in here is stuff that is in the trailer. So if you watch the trailer, you've seen the stuff that I've talked about in here. Man, I really do want to keep talking about this thing, but no, not going to do it. Anything else that you want to say about this film?
Go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Yes. Again, you haven't watched this in like a few years, but I just rewatched this thing.
Yeah, I'm tempted to like rewatch it also. Like, honestly,
it's so good. Yeah, this is one of those movies that the cast in it is great, and they're all perfect in the roles. It's such a genius concept, and it's executed so well. Again, as I said, things like Cabin in the Woods or Shaun of the Dead, the writing on those, they're better. So objectively, I can look at them and go, those are better horror comedies. But it's not like the writing in here is bad. The writing in this is genius. This is one of those unsung heroes of horror comedy that I really feel like people just do not talk about enough. Except for the people who do know it. The people who know it talk about it all the time, because that's how you make a cult classic. You spread this stuff around. But yeah, so go and check this film out. I'm just going to stop talking about it now. I'm just going to give you that big recommendation. Thank you guys for tuning in. And remember, it is Horror Comedy Week here on the Post Shriek Out Reaction. That's what it was called. Started blanking out there for a second. I'm losing oxygen because I've been talking too much. So make sure that you come back all this week for more horror comedies. And next week, the theme is going to be viewer requests. So if you have a request for a horror film that you want to see us talk about, let us know that in the comments down below of this video or on Twitter at twitter.com/Professor Thorgy. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I am all out of energy. This is the second video that we've done after getting my surgery, so I am shocked I made it through all this. I'm going to go and take a painkiller, and I'm just going to chill out the rest of the night. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and happy Halloween.
Bye.